If you ever told yourself you're not disciplined, you're not consistent enough, you're just not locked in, then sadly you believed a lie that the enemy sold you. And trust me, I've believed in myself many a times myself. Truth is, you can try squeezing a square peg into a circle hole and try as hard as you want. It's not that you're not putting enough effort, it's that you aren't aligned with the assignment. Many a times we think effort is the key to the breakthrough that we want, when in reality, it's the strategy, the structure, and the support. And those three things might sound like buzzwords, but truth be told, it's what helped me lose over 25 pounds in 90 days, helped my client Jay lose 28 pounds in 30 days, helped my client Jory lose over 20 pounds in 12 weeks, and so on. Because with the right strategy and the support, it is inevitable when you have the right rhythms to your lifestyle to finally get to the place that you really want to get to. So this is going to be a complete breakdown as to why you haven't gotten to that breakthrough yet. Why has that moment feel like it's escaping you, and you do well for 2 weeks, you do well for a month straight, and some way, somehow, life gets you out of rhythm, you hit a wall, and you have to start all over again. The most frustrating, most angering thing possible, because you can see the glimpses of that type of discipline. You can see the glimpses of you finally getting to that place of being in rhythm, and it gets snatched out your mouth. But now we actually put a real rhythm into it. No longer do you have to feel beaten up, feeling shame at the end of the day because you didn't hit your steps, you didn't drink enough water, you didn't do enough, you didn't work hard enough. Now we take victory that's already ours, and we make it possible. Now watch through this, not just for listening to its sake, but if you actually take a pen and piece of paper and understand what I'm about to drop in front of you, you won't find yourself in this cycle again, feeling lost, confused, or any type of fear. So enjoy this, take a pen, a paper. I'm not gonna hold it back no more. Have you ever looked in the mirror and been like, dang, I got so much potential? Well, you probably heard that from like family, friends, but especially when you look into yourself, you see the physique like, man, if I really locked in, I could really look good. You have all the features, the body parts, how it all pieces together. Better yet, you even look at your education, your work experience. It's like, well, if I really went and got that certification, if I really locked in, I could be in a completely different place from now, a year later. And the whole idea is that you see what you could be and you know what to do. Now, the better question is, why aren't you doing it? If you already have the information, then you might as well be doing it. The real gap in this is that you're not recognizing how you're living in a complete loop, month after month, year after year. It's already 2026. Blaming whatever happened to your life in the pandemic after 2022, 2023 is kind of just an excuse at this point, is it? Because 2020, you had the pandemic. At least you could blame it on that. But at this point, as time is passing you by, your chances and opportunities of really making a change are running out. As you get older, as you get more responsibilities, as you get married, as you get children, they are all going to continue taking from you, withdrawing from you, asking for more of you, and give you less opportunity to actually pour into yourself and develop yourself into the person that you know God has called you to be. And so because family, work, and all these responsibilities request so much out of you, it leaves you with less and less to actually put in. And so I'm going to walk you through exactly why you're in this cycle and how exactly you're going to break out of this, and how I finally broke the code, how I lost 40 pounds, how I stayed abstinent for 3 years. I met my wife and we dated for 10 months and got married, left our hometown, Brooklyn, New York, came to Dallas and quit my 9 to 5. It's going to be a step-by-step breakdown on how you could do exactly the same and start walking confidently, knowing exactly what God has called you to do. Now, I won't be able to see the comment section while I do this because I'm going to have to mirror this camera. There's no possible way. Look at that. That's a bunch of gibberish. But if I flip it, you guys have a better opportunity to see what I'm looking at. Ah, yes. Is it giving? Is it giving? I hope it's giving. Let's put y'all right here. I love this. It's like a POV. We're going to put y'all right here. Can y'all see that? I think this is legible. This is legible. Yes, this is legible. This is legible. I can't see the comment section, so don't. If you have a question, drop it in the comments and I'll be back. But I want y'all to be able to read this and not look like gibberish. It's giving. Cool. Look, we have the emotional cycle of change. This is psychology. This is not just fluff. This is not, oh, I need to be more locked in. I need to be more disciplined. I need to be more consistent. You're living in this loop. So here we have an emotional stage, and this is our time. And so stage one, we have uninformed optimism. Then as time goes on, we go into informed pessimism. And soon enough, we hit the valley of despair. And if we push through to see success, we get into the informed optimism, and finally we get success. But as you probably know, not many of us get to the success part because we die in the valley of despair. That is where death is prominent. This is where dreams go to die. This is why the graveyard is the most wealthiest place in the entire world, because that's where all dreams, aspirations go and die. Thousands of caskets per year going, and God is just like, who can do my will? God is just searching for willing people who are going to take the ideas that he puts into them and actually execute. Yet we get fearful.
Oh, the value of despair. We get so fearful. If you thought I was going to start at stage 1, we'll get there. And I'll explain this all in full. But the value of despair is what you are so accustomed to. You are so used to dying in this valley and never getting through the mountaintop and being able to push through. Now, stage 1, uninformed optimism is funny enough where you found yourself time again. Probably in the beginning of this year in January, you was telling yourself, oh man, it's 2026. It's time that I actually lock in, but it's March. And the stats show that over 90% of people have already abandoned their New Year's resolution. The numbers and stats are not on your side, and you probably have already quit at this point. And though you had all the motivation, you were so ready to get so locked in and so consistent, it had no action because you're just optimistic. You're just going off of vibes, motivation, and energy. And so you start off way up here. And then as you go along the journey, actually going to the gym, waking up, hitting your steps, drinking your water, logging your macros, you get informed pessimism. This is life snuffing you right in the jaw, telling you to sit down. You know why? Because things get hard. You do that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks even. You don't go and look at porn on your phone. You don't go on any explicit websites. You don't touch yourself. You actually get consistent, and then life shows up with a stressor. What does that look like? Well, that means you stay longer at work. Things get required of you. Your family, something happens. Grandma falls down the stairs. Something happens where now it requires something of you that's going to take your energy and capacity and time away from what you set out to do for your goals. And so this is a defining moment where if you can make the decision to actually show up for yourself still, it can change the whole experience of what your value of despair looks like. For me, this uninformed optimism was, you know what, I'm going to start on Monday. It's a clean slate. It's the first of the month. And I would be so gung-ho to go to the gym. I'm like, I got a new gym membership. I stopped going to Blink. I stopped going to Planet Fitness or any type of crunches. I went to a private gym. I decided to invest more money because I thought that the environment was just going to keep me there. Now, with doing all these changes, I was just uninformed that the fact that I was going to get a boatload of schoolwork and work at the same time in 1 week. I didn't see that coming. I didn't anticipate it. I didn't plan for it. And so when it happened, 2 things happened. I decided to drop everything I was doing and attend to those responsibilities because I felt like it was the number one priority. And then I started finding a form of release. This stage right here, stage 2, is the release stage. And this is the coping mechanisms and how they get created. Is that when you get informed of how real it is, you start looking for an out. And so when you see addicts, when you see alcoholics, porn addicts, sex addicts, anybody who's addicted to anything, and you're wondering how do they end up like that, it's because they're trying to cope with life. All of its heaviness, all of its sorrows, the fact that you have to do the same thing every single day and feel like you have no payout is because it's heavy. Life is heavy. And so now you're finding a way to cope with all these stressors and you choose vices. There's virtue and there's vices. The choice is still ours, but vices are a whole lot more appealing than virtue. And so you pour into vice. You pour into drinking and smoking and you get temporary relief in band-aids as you're getting informed in this pessimism of how hard it truly is. And it's supposed to help you cope and get you through it. But by the time you get here in this valley of despair where it's time to die because now you're really going through it, at this point for me, I'm going to the gym. I'm showing up once or twice a week. I started off 3-4 times a week, super consistent, super motivated. Oh, I'm so locked in this year. Look at me. Oh, shoot. I have so much to do. There's no way I could be able to catch up. I have to stay later at the office for at least 2-3 more hours after work, buying out food because I'm not home and I didn't bring any food with me. So dang. It's been 2 weeks. I actually haven't been to the gym at all. It's been 2 weeks. I actually been coming home, going straight to sleep, waking up, eating, and going back to sleep. This is the valley of despair. This is the moment where you realize you completely fell off and you're nowhere near where you want to be in your goals. You realize that you have no winning chance at actually being successful because you don't have the consistency. You know the thing about consistency is when you want to be consistent and you get informed of this pessimism and how tough it's really going to be, realize that you're only being as consistent as you are currently. Meaning you have disciplines right now. I had a discipline of every Friday night, I'm getting pizza. I'm not getting Papa John's. That's whack. If you love Papa John's, no shade. But I'm going to Domino's. I'm getting a handmade pan. If you know about the black box, you know about the black box. The black box from Domino's is hitting. Pepperoni meat lovers, let me get 2. That's the deal. How can I get 1 pie? If you're telling me 2 for $6.99, I'm going to get both. And I had that black box every Friday. Routine, consistency, routine. As simple as brushing your teeth first thing in the morning after you take a piss. That is consistency. That is discipline. The definition of discipline is doing something with or without motivation the same way you would even if you had all the motivation. And so regardless of circumstances, if I had a good day, I would eat that Domino's black box meat lovers. If I had a bad day, I'm eating that black box Domino's pizza lovers because it's Friday and that's what I do. It became a part of my identity and that's how sticky it is. And you're never going to find yourself coming out this valley of despair if you don't realize how sticky your habits really are. You're trying to change without solving the root. How can you tell an apple tree to create oranges unless you change the seed that it's grown from in the first place? You're playing a lose-lose game. Instead of trying to convince yourself that this time will be different, this is the uninformed optimism bullcrap that you keep falling yourself into. It's not different this time. There's nothing different. You have to be different. It's not the fact that you have a break from work. It's not the fact that you have a new gym membership. There are no external circumstances that are actually going to change and make sure that you get to the success that you want to see. I did not stop beating my meat for 6 times in a day and watching adult content, doing my homework at school so that I can come home and watch as much adult content as I possibly could in one night because I thought it was actually going to be different this time. I started dissociating myself with the identity. I am not someone who watches porn. I am not that person. That is not what I do. And when the temptations and cravings come, there's going to be a dissociation from who do I believe to be and the urges that I'm feeling. And that's where some of you do not get it. Like the fact that I'm married now doesn't cancel out the fact that I no longer struggle with these urges. What I'm saying is temptation is always there. Jesus got tempted. Sin is the action of temptation. And so when people ask me, how do I beat lust? You can't beat lust. You can master lust. And so every day I still do the same routine. I still do my daily deposit. That's what you see on my stories. That daily routine to make sure I can always conquer and master my flesh. My flesh will never be the master of me. And this is the difference between someone who will quit and repeat phase 1 to 3 on repeat versus someone who's going to push through to success because they recognize their identity and how to become aligned with that version of themselves. You do not lose more than 10, 15 pounds and actually keep it off by just getting in a calorie deficit. You know this, man. If you don't know Rush Hour, you're not going to get that reference. But you already know walk 10,000 steps. You already know about the chicken breast. You know about the water. If it was down to information and that's all that you needed, me and you wouldn't even be on this live. We'd both be Bill Gates rich, 8-pack on a yacht, popping bottles, celebrating because we just made another Billy. But guess what? Information doesn't mean nothing if you can't implement it. It doesn't mean nothing. And so until you start recognizing that your mindset is exactly why mindset, oh, here comes the mindset stuff. Yeah, well, because of how you think, that's who you are. You think like the version of you that you're being. I think like a husband. I think like a coach. I think as someone who honors and stewards the temple well. And because I think that way, that is who I am. And though you have no evidence right now, and that's why the valley of despair is such a big deal I keep emphasizing, the reason why you keep dying here is because you've never done this long enough to push through to have evidence that you have done it. Once you've gone for 1 week, 2 weeks, you have evidence on your side, but instead you get pushed back to quit and repeat back into being, oh, I'm gonna wait till I have free time. Uninformed optimism. You never learned from this stage too. Being informed as a pessimist, realizing that it's hard, but each time you're trying to convince yourself it's gonna be different. When there's no reason, there's no data here that would possibly make you think that yet you fall for the same bait. And now it's 6 years later, past the pandemic. I always like to reference the pandemic because that's like almost the split in time where everybody's life changed. It's 6 years removed that. You had the best opportunity in the world to do something about your situation and get out of it. That was for everyone. That's when my journey started. That's when I started being a coach and investing in my fitness and actually changing my life. Because time froze and time has never froze like that. And 6 years after, you're still in the same place when you had the best opportunity to change. Why? Because you keep being an uninformed optimist. You rather accept the lie that you need more time or you don't have enough time without realizing if something happened to your car tomorrow, you'd make time to go to the shop. If something happened at work where your job was on the line, you would make time to show up. You make time for the things that matter to you. And the truth of the matter, the hard truth is you do not matter to you. You have not proven to yourself why you deserve to be successful, to not actually touch yourself anymore, to actually go to the gym, take care and steward your body well. So much so that even when your faith requires it and it becomes a literal principle that's being taught of your body's being a temple, you agree with it and have no actions behind it. What good is it to read the Bible and it's like a man that looks in the mirror, walks away and forgets what he looks like? What's the point of it? And so you have a unique opportunity to conquer this, to master your flesh, to not be subjected to your feelings, but know the truth of what success really looks like so you can push through. And I'm going to make sure you get there. I'm going to make sure if it's the last thing I do, you get there. Because everyone has that vision of themselves when you lay down at bed at night of closing your eyes and realizing, man, there's so much God has in store with me. Did you know that wasn't you? Did you know everything that you dream and hope for isn't you? Do you know this uninformed, this informed optimism? This informed optimism, and I'll teach you the difference. Do you know that this stage isn't actually you anymore? You think that you want all these things for yourself? Trust me, greed is real. You wanting a bigger place, more money, that's greed. The fact that you have the vision to become anything at all is the breath of God that lives in you. And the fact that you stop at potential, the biggest insult in the world that you could be, should be something, with time that doesn't even belong to you, you pay attention and you You're always asking what's the cost of something monetarily. Meanwhile, porn is free. You go on Cornhub, big juicywoodyhole.com after work. It's free. You don't pay anything for it. And you don't think it's costing you anything, but you're so concerned about your dollars. Wow. I think you completely lost the plot. Social media is free. This is free. They don't charge you to doom scroll. You don't get charged to beat off to a video. Meanwhile, you ask the cost of how much these groceries going to be. How much that gym membership? $55? That's too much. Meanwhile, you're paying with the most expensive thing ever. Your attention, your focus. The one thing that could completely change your life. Man, you probably can't even make it this far into the video. Can't even pay attention. And you had this dream, this vision that could be brought to life and actually see it come true. Everything that you prayed and wished for is attainable. You just need a set of directives and routines to be able to make that into fruition. And so as life is beating you up and it's taking from you and taking from you and taking from you, you have no deposit. It's exactly why I called my system the daily deposit. Because as life takes more and more from you, the stage 2, the stage 3, the valley of despair, you become empty. You feel like a shell. And so you numb and you cope, like I mentioned, and you never make these deposits. And this is how we're going to get into this uptick of success and pushing through. These deposits that I'm talking about is informed optimism. This is the true balance of taking into consideration of your motivation, knowing your motives, and also being informed of what the challenges will be. The only way you transition out of this valley of despair is by sticking with it through time long enough to be informed on what it really takes. But you can never get to stage 4 without going through stage 1, 2, 3. You have to go through the valley. And some of you would love to go mountain to mountain, glory from glory, riches to riches, and never touch any rags. Because you feel like you're too good for rags. You feel like the rags are not worth it. And so as you go through this valley of despair, what I noticed was to inform optimism, I finally got it. There's always going to be something that's vying for my attention and time. I remember my first month being clean off of corn and touching myself, I started getting these urges and itches. And what I first recognized was, if I'm here available for this urge, what time is it right now? It could have been 4 in the afternoon. And I started to piece together, there are rhythms to my day that I'm pretty sure that my own flesh knows where to catch me on. There's the highest probability of where you're going to slip and fall and not show up. And imagine if there was a system, a data system that was plotting against you. And that's what it felt like. And it was almost like temptation knew my weak points. But that's the point of temptation. It wouldn't be tempting if you didn't want it. It was impossible for me not to be tempted when there was a new brunch spot that everybody was going to after church. I remember everybody was leaving church after service, like, yeah, we're going to hit that new spot. They got Latin music. I heard their margaritas are good. And I'm here saying no. A good brother even came up to me and was like, yo, I'll cover your plate if that's what it comes down to. And I'm like, it's not even that. It's not about the money. It's the fact that that's not the environment that I want to put myself around, because it's not going to appeal to me keeping this weight off. And that's the difference in identity. I'm just not someone who goes randomly out to eat after church. And that was my own commitment. And so where social life looked like it took a hit, my health, consistency, and discipline got boosted. And that environment changed because the type of people I started hanging out changed. And I started making fitness friends. Started having fitness mentors. Shout out to Purcell Duggar, Jose Duncan. Hey, this is my time to shine. I got a lot of big bros. My guy Adrian, my guy Zay Washington out in Cali. I had a bunch of big bros that helped me realize what it actually took and what excellence in becoming a coach into the fitness industry actually looked like. And that is the informed optimism, realizing the cost, the sacrifices that needed to be made. Because then the dating pool also changed. I remember I kind of just went on a date that anybody I was attracted to, but then as I'm starting to live this lifestyle, I realized there's attention on what do I do for dates? Am I someone who really just goes out on a dinner date? I don't even really go to dinner myself much at this point. I go for walks. And so meeting my wife, we did a lot of walking. She'll tell you. She'll tell you the conversation. Like, she was expecting a dinner date sooner than we had our first one. But it was really just the lifestyle I was doing, just going to parks, riding bikes, like an active lifestyle, and inviting people into your world. And so whenever I had that temptation, I knew how to sit and process with it because I was informed in my optimism. I didn't feel the urge and temptation to be like, well, I'm just going to beat it because I'm strong and Christ lives in me. I understood there was a trigger that set off that emotion in the first place. And now I need to sit down and process what is actually happening that's causing this trigger to happen and why now? And those are the questions that most people don't ask themselves. Why am I craving this right now? For the ladies in the menstrual cycle and for the fellas, the stress. Stress and tension equal temptations because you want to find that coping that out. And until you get into the side of informed optimism, you're always going to die in the valley. And so as you become more informed in the optimism and time continues to go by, you reach this level of success. And success finally happens when you take the time to endure. This is a matter of endurance. It's not a matter of how fast you can go, how well you're good at it. If you can't keep up your speed, what good is it? If you ever pedaled on a bike really, really hard, really, really fast, especially the stationary bikes, and your foot slipped off and the pedal kept going and it knocked you in your shin, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you all another example. It's like, what if you were running, like Flintstones running in a car, and you ran so fast that you tripped on your own foot? Man, you're going to fall on your face. You tripped over your own feet. You can't keep up that same speed. You're going to burn out. And so many of you have this potential to hit this level of success, but without this informed optimism and learning from your pessimistic mistakes and how you can deposit into yourself, you're only tasting a good glass of failure. And so this is the emotional cycle of change. This is what my clients, the best performers, are really good at, of navigating, recognizing well. And if you're a former athlete, this is like a scheme against the defense. Know what formation and schemes the defense is running and take advantage of their weak points. That's the part you haven't considered. All of these temptations, all the food noise, the emotional eating, and how you process through food has a weakness indeed. And it's plotting off the fact that you want it right now. Temptation is trying to take advantage of timing. And once you start to realize how crucial time plays in all of your study, for good or for bad, you start to unlock the real gems of success. And that's where you see clients like my client Jay, who lost 28 pounds in 30 days. My client Jory finished up, lost over 20 pounds within 12 weeks. All these fantastic transformations are just indicative of what happened internally and the decisions that they had to make and the different mental shift. Because it's not that your form isn't good enough. Carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Don't eat carbs. Water's not good for you. Going on all these reels, saving all these recipes, thinking, oh, this is the recipe. This high protein snack. Oh, I need protein bars. Just like that. And what you really need to do is deposit into yourself. Because the heavier life gets and the more responsibilities you have, the less chance you have to actually pour in and experience success. If you have any questions, if you want to know how to actually implement this, how I get my clients these types of results and teaching this and how I know what it is, just DM me the word change. I'll hop into DMs with you. We'll chat it up. I'll see how way I can possibly help. But this is it right here. This is masterclass-esque. This is my masterclass. Welcome to my masterclass. Welcome to my masterclass. It's literally midnight right now. I have no questions. Y'all just over here watching me. I might as well dance like Terry Crews then. For my outro, I was going to just bang it on y'all. Any questions? Listen, man. I'm here televising the revolution. Listen, it's time to lock in. Enough of this game, bro. It's about to be summer. It's about to be hot outside. You can't even take off your shirt. Bro, stop playing, bro. I don't care if you hire me or not. Do something. I better see results. I better see a transformation. On some transformation nation. Like Todd. Can't even go outside and take off your shirt because you're ashamed, bro. You better. Especially if you single, about to be on a date and she grab your arm, you better, hi. You know when you wear a shirt, like a sleeve shirt, you can see the tricep through the shirt. Dog status. Dog status. You know how good that feels to wear a shirt and you just confident.